Sadiq Khan knows he's going to get your vote, right? He knows that you're probably going to vote who your parents voted for, and so he's not out here campaigning. He's not trying to solve your problems. He's not trying to open your businesses. He doesn't care if your children go to school. He doesn't care if you suffer from mental health. He doesn't care if your gyms are open. He doesn't care because he knows he's going to get your vote. So he'll keep signing off on policies that don't work, on policies that make you angry. Every single person on the street walks up to me and says, "We got to get this guy out of office. Nothing can be worse than him." I spent the last 30 years in business, in automotive, in aerospace, in finance, in tech startup. I've been in new media and I've been in digital education. I bring a wealth of business experience to this. To be honest, this is the last thing I wanted to do, but I couldn't sit by and watch this crop of politicians run our city into the ground. And if I don't do this, no one else will beat Sadiq Khan. That's the truth. And you get 3 more years of bankrupt TFL, no affordable housing, knife crime on the streets, and an economy that is just dead and buried. Sadiq Khan, when will you debate me? Tell me the time and we'll make it happen. I've been putting out a lot of facts and figures about your failures when it comes to Transport of London, about your failures on knife crime, your failures on the economy, your failures to build affordable housing. If you think I'm wrong, if I've got something wrong, let's meet, let's have a debate, let's put the facts out there, and let's let the people decide.
One, two, three, listen.
Welcome to the Brian for Mayor Digital Battle Bus. Welcome to Battle Bus Live. I am Brian Rosen. We are live here at the Brian for Mayor Digital Battle Bus. We are now touring the boroughs of Southwark and Lewisham, and I'm super excited to get your comments. So please stop right now wherever you're watching me and leave me a comment below and tell me what borough are you in and what's the challenge that you're facing, and also what question would you like to ask me. I really want to hear from you today. I've had an incredible day here in Southwark. We went by the Oval, which is the cricket ground that London is known for. And if you don't know much about cricket, I was actually there about 15 years ago watching my first cricket match. It's an incredible place, an incredible vibe, and it's great going through this borough here. I just went by the London Eye, and now we're going into Lewisham. And again, the reason I'm here on the ground is because every borough of London faces its unique challenges, and I need to be on the ground and see what's happening. I'm going by a bunch of stores right now. I see B&Q over there. I think we're going right on into Lewisham, and I want to hear from you today. As you know, we've been going through every borough in London, and we're going to go through all 32 very shortly. Today, I want to talk about something that's on all of Londoners' minds. It's something that people come up and talk to me all the time when they see me. They say this. They say, "Brian, obviously our transport system is a failure." And it's very hard to argue with them because it is a failure. Your mayor has raised and extended your congestion charges. He's increased your transport fares. He's ruined our city with his failed streetscape scheme and his low traffic neighborhoods. He's also nearly bankrupted TFL not once, but twice. He's wasted hundreds of millions of pounds of your money on 6-figure bonuses, on first-class travel, and on these luxury coffee machines. I believe this is unacceptable, and I think we have to send him a message now and say, "Mr. Mayor, we deserve better as Londoners," because the problem is our mayor right now is completely out of touch with the citizens. He's there on his top floor office in the glass building making policies, but he's not out here on the ground like I am, trying to find out what the challenges are of real people in real neighborhoods and trying to solve those problems, and that's why I'm here now. And again, I just want to say, for the record, somebody right here on this live broadcast asked me yesterday, they said, "Brian, will you debate Sadiq Khan?" And I said quite quickly, yes, I will. So I ask you this right now, Mr. Mayor, and I hear he's watching these broadcasts. Sadiq Khan, when will you debate me? Tell me the time and we'll make it happen. I've been putting out a lot of facts and figures about your failures when it comes to Transport of London, about your failures on knife crime, your failures on the economy, your failures to build affordable housing. If you think I'm wrong, if I've got something wrong, let's meet, let's have a debate, let's put the facts out there, and let's let the people decide. That's what a democracy is, and we are moving forward to try to get all the information to the people. And I am a new kind of leader. I want to have a real transparent dialogue via these social media platforms. Luckily, I've been doing this for 10 years and I've got 5 million followers, 500 million views, and I'm very good at talking with people and getting your feedback. So today, I'll be reading out your comments live wherever you're watching me now. Leave me a comment below and tell me, what borough are you in? What's the challenge you're facing? And what question do you want to ask me? And again, let's make this debate happen. If you want to see me debate the current mayor of London, tell your friends, put it on social media, go to the mayor's social media feeds and tell him, why aren't you debating Brian Rose? Do you have something to hide? Do you think his facts and figures are wrong? Tell us, why will you not debate him? I am the only other candidate who can beat Sadiq Khan, and we plan on doing that on May 6th. As you know, a few days ago, we were in the borough of Southwark. We were on our digital campaign, and I was walking in the middle of the street, actually, with an umbrella in one hand and my mobile phone in the other hand, making a vlog, a video, talking to you. And I was suddenly surrounded by 10 City of London police officers that came in 5 police vans. They stopped me, they detained me, they fined me and my crew, and they banned us from campaigning, which put a big red signal. And I said to the police officer, I said, this sounds very political. And that created a big row. He said very sternly, this is not political. And I thought, well, it seems as if the mayor doesn't want me out there campaigning. And so that's what happened. A couple days later, our bus was out on the roads. The Metropolitan Police pulled us over. So it was a coordinated attack, which is why I sent this 5-page letter, which I've posted on social media that many, many of you have read. I've sent it to Commissioner Ian Dyson of the City of London Police, Dame Cressida Dick of the Metropolitan Police, and of course, Chief Constable Paul Crowder. They have all replied to me via email and said they've received it and they are reviewing it. We are following the letter of the law as we speak, campaigning in a complete, safe way, respecting the lockdown, respecting everything in a COVID secure way. But we are out there on the road because I believe in democracy. I believe in free and fair elections. And how can you choose a candidate if you don't know who they are or what they stand for? Otherwise, if you have no choice, you get 3 more years of what the current mayor has done. And I don't think any of us want that. So I believe we need to get out there and campaign. I encourage all other parties to campaign as well. And that means the Liberal Democrats, the Green parties, Labor and Conservatives as well. Let's get out there and campaign. This here is a digital battle bus. It's completely 100% COVID secure. It has an antiviral fog gone through the entire unit every single night. Everyone is temperature checked when they come in, social distancing, hand sanitizers. Everything here is by the book, the same protocols that are being used right now in London to film productions for video and for movies right now in the city. So we are respecting the law, but we are moving forward regardless. We could be stopped at any moment now and pulled over by police and arrested. We are prepared to do that, but the message is more important than that. So we're taking this risk. We see a lot more police vans than I used to, is what I'd say. But I'll keep you posted on what happens there. So let's talk about today, and let's talk about what's going on. Before that, I want to hear from you. So first of all, tell me, what borough do you live in? And what question would you like to ask me? Next, tell me what you think about the transportation system. Do you think the mayor should have raised and increased your congestion charges? Do you think that he should have raised your fares? Do you think that also, at the same time, he should be taking TfL near bankruptcy twice, while also paying these 6-figure bonuses and approving first-class travel and luxury coffee machines? Tell me, do you think he should be doing that? Next, do you think it was right for the police to detain us, fine us, and ban us from campaigning? And is this politically motivated? Do you think that free and fair elections should be allowed to take place on May 6th? And finally, do you think we need new leadership, new ideas, and to take London in a new direction? Right now, I want to talk to you about 3 things. The first is, I want to talk about the state of our transportation system. The second thing I want to talk about is how your congestion charges have been raised and extended, and it goes very far. The streetscape schemes, there's a lot of real problems here. And finally, I want to talk about how the current mayor of London is wasting your taxpayer money, your hard-earned pounds, in order to try to run this city, but he's wasting them, and I want to get into those details. So first of all, what is the state of the transportation system? Well, we all know it's pretty poor, and it's been poor for the past 5 years on the current mayor's watch, because the current mayor of London, when it comes to transportation, has failed us. And let's look into why. The transportation system is bankrupt. Our fares are now the highest in Europe. The congestion charges have risen by 44%, and our debt levels are now at nightmare proportions. 2021, this year, could see Transport for London owing £18 billion. You heard me right, £18 billion. And for us 9 million Londoners, that's a total repayment cost of £2,000 each for every man, woman, and child. Think about that. £2,000. Do you have that to spare? Very few of us do. For a family of 5, that's a £10,000 bill. And let me be clear, this wasn't because of the COVID crisis. The TfL was going bankrupt long before the pandemic hit. And without strong transportation, the London economy, it's just never going to recover. Now, your mayor, Sadiq Khan, promised to freeze transport fares when he was elected. He promised to make the TfL operate more efficiently. He promised that Londoners, quote, wouldn't pay a penny more for travel. But just 4 weeks after he was elected, he broke all of those promises. He raised and extended congestion charges, and that especially affects with the new ULEZ zone boroughs like Hammersmith and Fulham, Hackney, Haringey, Barnet, Ealing, Hounslow, Lambeth, and Southwark, where we are now, and Lewisham as well. He raised fares for children and the elderly, and he's been accused of wasting tens of millions of pounds on luxury travel, taxis, water coolers, vending machines. And what does he do? All he does is blame the government and simultaneously ask for more bailouts. And he's going to be asking for another one in literally a matter of months. So that is the state of the transportation system. I want to go to your questions now and tell me, first of all, what borough are you in? What question do you have? Do you think the mayor should have ruined our transport system like that? Do you think it was right for them to detain us as the police and stop us from campaigning? And finally, do we need new leadership? So I'm going to your questions now, and again, I really appreciate them. A lot of them coming through here via our website and also via social media. I've got somebody here from Barking via the website, says, quote, I love your work. I'm a firefighter in Barking, but I'm currently driving an ambulance for the London Ambulance Service to help out during these difficult times, and I appreciate that. He goes on to say, I'm working out of Ilford Ambulance Depot at the moment, so I'll be around Redbridge and Havering over the weekend. I'd love to come and meet you if you're around. Please let me know. Great, I appreciate your comment. We were actually in Redbridge yesterday and Havering as well, but we're going to be doing loops around this city, so I'm going to post the schedule and hopefully we can see you as well. Another comment here. It continues. I would like to know what you do to plan for the London Fire Brigade, because at the moment we are staring down the barrel of £70 million worth of cuts, which can only mean fire stations being closed, which will lead to increased response times and more fire deaths. I appreciate your comment. And the tragedy is this. The London mayor just recently cut the fire brigade budget by an additional £25 million. In addition to defunding the police by £110 million, this is not the thing to do when we're facing record knife crime levels, when we know the deficiencies we have in the fire brigades and some of the atrocious things that have happened in the city over the past few years. The London mayor has to pay attention to these services, and he's got to find creative ways to finance this city. That's the problem. The current mayor, all he knows is I'm going to raise your taxes, raise your congestion charges, and raise your fares. He hasn't thought about a creative way of raising money for this city. I have solutions for that. These are all detailed on my brianformayor.london page. Thank you for your comment. I've got Adam in Camden via the website that says, hi, Brian. I think we're neighbors. You're right. I live in the borough of Camden. You fully have my backing and support, brother. How will you invest in our London communities and families to build more resilience and unity within our communities? It's a great question. Our communities are being completely ignored right now. Their community centers are being shut down. You've got kids out there on the streets, and no wonder a lot of times crime entails. And we've got to find a way to invest in these community centers, and my solution is to bring corporate investment directly to our community centers. There's precedent of this in Acton with Jamal Edwards of SBTV getting a £100,000 donation from Google. If I was mayor of London, or when I'm mayor of London, I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to call the Amazons of the world. I'm going to call the Barclays of the world. I'm going to call the Googles of the world and say, guess what? You've done a lot of great business in London. It's time for you to give back. Let's make a deal. Let's talk about a win-win situation. That's what I do. For the past 30 years, I've cut deals. The problem with the current mayor is he's never run a business in his life, and he's a career politician. I don't think he understands these things. So I've got big plans for our communities, and I appreciate you as well. Instagram, I got Angus0 on Instagram. Says, I just missed you at the Oval.